in the shadow of twilight, when the air still held the scent of pine and the sky bled into ink, you saw her for the first time. She stood at the forest's edge, alone, barefoot, backlit by moonlight, gathering herbs with a grace that felt both sacred and forbidden. Her hair spilled like night down her shoulders, and though you were half hidden among the trees, she turned as if she sensed you. You didn't move, didn't speak, just watched her fingers trace the leaves of some plant you couldn't name. Her touch was careful, reverent, as if she believed everything living carried its own spirit. The villagers had warned you about the forest, about the girl who wandered it at dusk. They said she was marked, unnatural, that her mother had died screaming in childbirth and the girl never cried. Not once. They whispered words like devil's bride and wish. But none of that mattered when you saw her smile. It was a sad smile, like she already knew the ending to every story. You didn't mean to return the next night, or the next, but something pulled at you. Curiosity, perhaps, or maybe something older, something deeper. She spoke little at first. Mostly she listened, but her silences were never empty. They were full of knowing glances, of fireflies blinking between the trees, of truths no one dared say aloud. You learned her name by accident. She whispered it while tending to a wounded sparrow. You never repeated it to anyone, not because you were afraid, but because it felt like a secret she had gifted you, and you weren't ready to share it with the world. Being near her was like standing inside the eye of a storm. Peaceful, yes, but surrounded by chaos. The village was always buzzing with fear, always looking for something or someone to blame. But with her, the noise faded. You started seeing signs. Herbs tied above her door. Strange symbols drawn in chalk that washed away with the rain. People began to talk, first in murmurs, then with narrowed eyes. Suspicion breeds fast in small places. One morning, outside the church, a woman clutched her child and hissed. She looked at him, and he took fever the same night. Another swore her cow wouldn't give milk after crossing the girl's path. It was madness, but it was the kind that spreads easily. You warned her, told her to stay away from town, to wait it out. But she only looked at you, calm, almost amused, and said, "They always fear what they don't understand." You thought love would protect her, that reason would prevail. But love isn't armor, and reason has no power when firewood is already stacked and torches are being lit. Still, you stay by her side. Each meeting became more dangerous. Each whispered word felt like it might be the last. But neither of you stopped. You held her hand beneath the roots of ancient trees. You kissed her where no one could see. You told her you'd leave the village. Both of you. Disappear into the mountains, start somewhere new. But it was already too late. You heard the shouting before you saw the glow. The village square was alive with flames. Men with pitchforks. Women screaming prayers. Children watching with wide, unblinking eyes. You pushed through the crowd, searching for her voice, for her face. And then you saw them drag her forward, rope around her wrists, blood on her cheek. But her head was held high. She didn't look at them. She looked at you. And in that single glance, so quiet, so final, you felt the world collapse inward. You tried to reach her. Arms held you back. Voices shouted over your own. The priest raised his hand, and the crowd fell to silence. He read the charges. Witchcraft, blasphemy, seduction of the innocent. The words barely registered. They meant nothing. None of them knew her. None of them had seen her care for broken birds, or hum lullabies to dying trees. You screamed, begged, cried for mercy, but the only answer was the crackling sound of fire catching kindling. They tied her to the post. Her eyes never left yours. And then the wind shifted. A sudden gust rushed through the square, scattering embers and cloaks alike. The flames hesitated, as if uncertain. The crowd fell back, and in that moment,